Hey, Proof. Yeah, well enough. I wasn't actually really planning a stream, but my internet has. I've just jinxed myself by even thinking of saying this, but my internet's been stable all day and most of last night, so I'm hoping it's going to continue to be stable. I do have some other stuff I should probably be getting done this weekend, but I will do that tomorrow, I think. I want to take advantage of this while my net's working. And of course, now we're having issues with DCS not wanting to sign in. Bear with me. Yeah, they haven't quite worked their way to that one yet. Although the way Daphne's been carrying on today, you would think that they had. So, as the title might suggest, I think we're going to do some Viggen stuff. I haven't flown it for God knows how long, to the point where I had to rebind my throttle when I tried it earlier, because it just... I don't know what was going on. I'd reversed the axis and done all sorts of weird shit with it. I have figured out how to get Jester to lock stuff in the F-14, not the F-14, the F-4, so I can theoretically shoot stuff with the F-4 now. However, I am not doing so great at it. So I do want to actually properly learn the F-4 and get good, but that's a long-term thing. I think what we'll do at the moment is just pick the Viggen back up and try and remember how to use it. The boresight modes are not super reliable from what I've seen so far. Also, it's just a case of, like, my situational awareness is so bad because I'm so task saturated and the visibility's bad that by the time I find something to kill, I've already merged with it, and then I forget that I'm not flying a light fighter, and I burn all my energy and die horribly. Because, man, the F4 is heavy. Like, you can feel the weight in that thing. I managed to maneuver kill myself last night trying to get a second pass on an Su-25. It was fucking embarrassing. Now the server browser's taking forever to do its thing, of course. If it's not one thing, it's another. Hello, my dudes. The gremlin is home, as you can see. So Versace is back with his mum, and I have little Stinky, don't I? You want to say hello? She's been very talkative for the last couple of days. And by talkative, I mean she's yelling at everyone and everything. Okay, we have a server list now. We're gonna jump on Meme Blur. Of course, now I check, blue is stacked. But you know what, maybe we kind of need that, because I am not going to be up to snuff in the Viggen anymore. It's been, like, probably, what, 2 years since I've flown it? Maybe more at this point. It took me long enough to figure out how to plug the data cartridge into it. Stuff that used to be second nature is just gone completely. I've also been flying the last 7 a bit, just offline. It's pretty neat. It's a pretty cool plane. Might do a bit of that on some of the World War II servers when they get around to adding it. The issue is, I think, like, really the main populated World War II server these days is 4YA, which is kind of a curse, because it's, like, it's not a bad server, it's just that because it's got all the settings cranked to, like, you know, try and be as realistic as possible, it means it takes you forever to find engagements, and when you do, there's a chance you might not know where you are, or your teammates won't be able to find you, or it's just like, it's a pain in the ass. And I don't think they're going to add the Lala, because, you know, there weren't any last 7s in Normandy. So we'll see. If any World War II servers add it, we might get some action in that in the coming weeks. Otherwise, we might have to wait for Just Dogfight to add it or something like that. But today, at least for the start, we're going to be about the Viggen. IL-2 announced the last collector planes for Great Battles. Oh yeah? What's the, what are the highlights from that? Anything really interesting? P-39, Q-15, P-47M, A-20 and GJ, B-26B. B-26. Is the B-26B the Invader, or is that actually the Death Cigar? Because I remember they both had the same index. Although I think during the war it was... Oh, it's the Death Cigar. Excellent. Yeah, because during the war it was still classified A-26, right? Can you... Thank you. And a Focke-Wulf 189. Interesting. That's pretty cool, actually. Might want to pick a few of those up. Okay. We will spawn at Anapa. This chair is already dropping out from under me. I still haven't replaced the gas cylinder. Yeah, that's what I meant. It was originally A-26 and then they made it B-26 because the Death Cigar was out of service. I don't think there's any point taking a emotional support Sidewinder. We'll just maximize our bomb load. Hopefully the stream plays nice. We don't have any bitrate issues or stuttering. DCS is taking forever to load in like the terrain at the moment, I've noticed, and cockpit textures as well. It's kind of annoying. Okay. I'm not sure if my waypoints still stand. Yes, they do. Okay. Daff, that's probably not the best place for you to be laying, baby. Let's close the lid. Part of the way. We won't do it the whole way at the moment. Okay. Let's check the engine was actually running. Oh, the CK is not warmed up yet. Now it is. 9099. Hello? Reflola 9099. LSSKU. It did load that, right? I think it did. Okay, we are going to go tact in 580, which turns off turnav because you wouldn't have it in this time period. Let's check tact, showing our correct loadout. We are in bomb plan. We are at 15 interval. I might leave it at 15. Leave all of that alone. I've got to remember not to switch to nav until I'm actually lined up. I think that's where I used to always fuck up the Viggen's nav computer. Okay. Daph's gonna fall off my shoulder the way she's going. Baba, would you like to hop on my lap instead? If you're gonna fall asleep, that's a good girl. That's my girl. We need to also M3 1011. Fortune favors the bold, especially when they're flying the Viggen. I did have some success in the F5 earlier. And then screwed it up by falling for the most obvious fucking ambush you will ever see. But yeah, the F5 is still very much the easy mode go-to Blue 4 dogfighter. It's just the F1 I've noticed from just playing offline, practicing against AI. The F1 seems to actually have moves now. I don't know if they updated the flight model again or what. The AI seems way more aggressive in it too. It was doing the kinds of shit I would normally do, throwing it around and deliberately kicking the rudder to get the nose on stuff. But yeah, the F1 is a lot more agile than it used to be, but it's still very much task saturating to fly. And the visibility is still not great. The F5 is just the king of Blue 4 fighters in DCS as far as Cold War era goes, as far as I'm concerned. Might not be the most capable, but if you're going to fly something into a furball, like you would on most servers, it is what you want. Okay, nav mode. Hey, Gilson. Yeah, I'd like to get back into IL-2 as well. I was running a campaign offline just the other week, which ended in tragedy, as all my campaigns do in that game. Why is it showing my first nav waypoint all the way out here? Nav system. What did I do to the nav system this time? Why is it unhappy with me? We're gonna have to sort this out. Where'd I put my B1? It's down in this area somewhere. There. Okay. It's 38, 35, 27. Hello?
Отказ систем. Смотри экран.
You smell.
What have I done to the nav system? Alright, we're doing it the old-fashioned way. I don't think I did anything I wouldn't normally have done back in the old days, so unless they've changed the way the Viggen works, which I kind of doubt. Why are you like this, Gilson? You getting Korea? Yep. I caved in a couple weeks ago and got it. I don't actually remember what any of my binds are. Okay, that's my radar range. Fight with a produce cage. I lost. Well done. I don't know what I've done to the nav system here, but it's obviously very unhappy with me. I might have to feed in all the waypoints manually. I also need to tune my throttle slightly, so I'm not sitting in burner the whole time. There we go. I now have no idea where I am because of the nav whoopsie. So we'll see how this goes. Say that's back towards Anapa there. Once we get over this ridge, we should have a better idea. No, this has an air-to-ground radar only. This is a bomber, not a... Well, it's a fighter bomber, but it doesn't have an air-to-air radar mode. Just air-to-ground. Yes, it is. That's exactly what it's for. It's not very easy to use, though, because the resolution is so bad on it. It's very fiddly to actually aim with. Okay, we're basically paralleling the mountains now, so we want to hang a left turn to take us eastwards. Smoke over there, so that's probably near the front line. This is our industrial here. I forget, because the Swedish designation for the Mavericks is different than the American one. I've only ever used them like once or twice. I don't use the Mavericks very often in this. I prefer high drag bombs and rockets. Yeah, RB-75. I think it gets like RB-75A and B. One of them's a normal, like a early model Mav. One of them's a heavy Mav, something like that. No, RB-75T I think is the heavy Mav. Okay. So we're not going to be able to check on the knee board. I have to open up the F10 map. It does show your position on the F10 map in this server, which is kind of cheap, but I get it. Let's me reference where I am. If I head towards Krasnodar, I can find my target. I just got to be careful because there's some HQ-7 launchers around there I found with my face earlier. Can we have a DAF only stream? Maybe one day. Maybe. It probably wouldn't last very long because she has an attention span about the same as mine, if not shorter. Okay, 15 miles. I don't have any air-to-air weapons loaded at the moment, so we're gonna have to just haul ass. Drop tank is empty, but I'm gonna probably... You know what? No, I'm not gonna retain it. X-tank. Get rid of that. We follow the railway. Surely that will take us towards Krasnodar. Small size is probably a fighter, probably a MiG-21, so we'll have to be a little careful. We're actually going to push into stage 1 burner. Quick nav check. Yeah, if we follow this railway, it will literally take us to the target, or we'll get shot down. That was the 21. Alright, well, hopefully this time I will not brick the nav system. I think what I'll do is get the aircraft started. Oh, you know what? I know what I did wrong. Does anyone in chat know what I did wrong? I forgot a kind of important step of loading the data cartridge into the aircraft. I forgot to load the fucking data cartridge physically into the aircraft. I forgot you actually had to do that. No wonder it wasn't working. Well, like I said, it's been a few years since I've flown this thing at all, so that's my excuse and I'm sticking with it. There we go. Now we wait for the CK to come online. Ooh, Tomcat. That's something else I haven't flown in a very long time. We'll just close that most of the way down. We'll close it properly as we're taxiing. Okay, CK's up. Ref Lola in 9099 LSSKU. It's loaded. TACT 580 to turn off turnav. That's loaded. Seize our weapons. Cool. We'll arm the seat once we're out from under this shelter. And then it was 1011 for the target altitude. Another Tomcat. Okay, now that we actually should have a nav system, should being the operative word, I can focus a little more on not getting shot. What the fuck? Not getting shot down, and instead work on getting myself to the target. You know you're on blue for when. Already seen quite a few team kills today as well. Thankfully, I haven't been the victim of any yet, but I'm sure that will change. It's not turned on. It won't actually activate unless I've got mavs on the aircraft, and I don't have any. Actually, I wonder if maybe I haven't flown the Viggen since I got my new throttle. Surely I have. Because I have no real muscle memory for the what the bindings are on this throttle. I can remember what they were on the old one, so maybe I just haven't flown it in that long. Which would be like, Jesus, 3-4 years at this point? It can't have been that long. It can't have. Yeah. Because when I tried to fly it earlier, the throttle axis was reversed and a bunch of other weird stuff was going on. Even when I loaded the profile for this throttle, it wasn't set up correctly, so it makes me wonder. Okay, nav system should be on. We'll go ahead and floor it. Please work this time. Well, the nav system light's on, but we do appear to have a good waypoint now. So that's something. Nice. We on the seat, didn't we? Yeah, okay, good. Briefly, I do have it. I think Polar got it for me. I've messed around with it a little, like just kind of on. I think I was on Just Dogfight with it, trying to figure out like what it can do in BFM. It's actually quite good at it. Has kind of a, or at least back then it had. I don't know if the flight models changed, but it had a similar vibe to the Mirage 2000, which I do enjoy flying. But the actual systems of it, I don't know how to use. Never bothered with learning them because it's too modern for me. So the waypoints I've got plugged in are going to send us on a kind of roundabout course, which should line us up with the target quite nicely, as long as we don't get intercepted. We're going to try and keep our altitude low. Not quite shaving the grass kind of low, but still pretty low. I just don't really have an interest in even playing on the modern servers, to be honest. Okay, that's target marking smoke over there, which means that probably one of their ground attack aircraft is hanging out there. We have another enemy fighter, probably another 21, over that away somewhere. Quite close. I want to keep my altitude down, scoot through this town here. And hopefully he will not notice me. What I would like is for someone to pop their AWACS. But I don't know if that's going to happen. Someone did earlier. I made a couple of attempts but got intercepted. Someone else got through with a Phantom and got it. But they seem to have got a new one up. Okay, this is our section of the front line. I am going to have to overfly the enemy front line, which is very dangerous this low. But I'm going to have to pick my poison between fighters or ground fire. And at least the ground fire I can see coming if it's in front of me, and I can try and evade it. Whereas that 21 that got me before just rolled in right behind me. Shit, we got another one coming after us. Okay, I'm just gonna haul ass. He might get us anyway. We're quite draggy with all these bombs since they fixed the Viggen's flight model issues. Something off my nose too, right there. Can't quite tell what it is. Might be another Viggen. It's got a blowtorch and afterburner, which is usually either a Viggen or a 21. It is a Viggen being chased by a 21. Better him than me. Settle down, Daphne. Get rid of the tank. Settle, Daff. Picked up a fair bit of altitude there, which I would like to get rid of. thing, of course, has horrific rearwards visibility. "30 kilometers to our next steer point." Oh shit. We got one right behind us and I don't have any countermeasures. Might have shaken him, hopefully. I'm burning through fuel at a very prodigious rate here. I'd rather not be doing that. Settle, Daff Daff. This is going to be a pretty sharp turn. It's like a 90-degree left or something. Actually, it's more than 90 degrees. That was air defense of some sort. I'd rather not find out which. We don't want to be supersonic as we drop. There's the target. Something's locking me. That's a FARP. Boom! Let's get the fuck out of here. Whoop! We didn't make it. Shit. That was kind of inevitable, but at least we hit our target. We only got the one ground target apparently, but we got a bunch of structures, and the structures are the actual target. I'll take it. Now, what do we have for other targets? That was pretty complete, I think. Get rid of our waypoints from that strike. I'm almost tempted to hit an airfield, but the air defense will be too strong. We could do a factory. Although I'm pretty sure those will have SAMs. The other thing is, we could do reconnaissance, although I don't quite remember how to do it in this server. I don't know if that's actually where the factory is. We might do a run on that grid, or that hex, and see if we can spot something. So we'll go B1. B2. Whoop. Actually, we'll make that M2. So then we'll just come straight home from that. Oh, I think I just lost my connection. Oh, DCS crashed. Okay. Well, that was handy. Bear with me, I'm gonna have to relaunch the game. Sometimes the Viggen does cause crashes. I'm just gonna double check DCS AJS 37. We're gonna clear the F10 map markers. Clear custom cartridge. Actually, we'll just clear all of the cartridges because sometimes that can cause issues and cause the game to crash. We'll try again. In the meantime, would you like to say hello, Stinky? There she is. Yes, my little baba. Oh, you want belly rubs. You want belly rubs. Thank you for the kisses. That's a good girl. Look. Look, Daff Daff. Look, Baba. Come here. Come here, little squirmy worm. You insist, do you? You insist on belly rubs. Look, Daphne, there's you. Look, on that screen, there's you. It's my girl. You wanna hop back up? Careful up there, Bubba. Doing single Viggen pre-planned strikes like that's always sketchy on a busy server because you are very likely to get intercepted and killed, especially since the Viggen is now, you know, it flies like a real aircraft, not like a fucking spaceship like it used to. You've got to kind of do a cat and mouse and figure out where are people likely to be patrolling and defending. But if you have either a group of Viggens together, so you've got some safety in numbers, or you've got fighters to sweep the air ahead of you and prevent you from getting popped like that, it's really good. I used to, when this server first started up as Enigma's Cold War server, and there were still road bases and all sorts of fucking awesome stuff like that, I would routinely load up in the Viggen and just go and hit road bases, hit depots, things like that. Like, just spend half a day flying strike after strike after strike. I miss road bases. I want them back so badly. So it feels like what I imagine the Bison is like, simplified modern weapon systems that almost anyone can pick up, but as a result it's a tad limited. Yeah, or the I can't speak Persian, so I won't even try and pronounce it, but the Lightning, the Iranian F5 derivative with the twin fins, Apparently that's got a like a fairly modern phasitron radar in it, a bunch of other stuff like that. It's essentially an F5, but it's an up-beaked F5. Don't know if they've got any left, unfortunately, but it's a cool little aircraft. Hello? Oh, there's a... I don't know if the mission will be resetting after the next tick. We'll find out, I guess. Let's take Viggen. If we're going to do reconnaissance, then we don't really need any air-to-ground stuff. We might just take a pair of sideys. I think we can do that for recon. Neat thing about the Jeff is the man-in-the-loop missile. When Jeff was still relatively new to the game, and the like weapon restrictions and rules and shit on Growling Sidewinder server were a lot less like no fun allowed. Giggles managed to take a Jeff with the man-in-the-loop missiles and a couple of SD-10s. Wait, no, not SD-10s, PL-10s, I think, the AMRAAM Oid. He took a couple of those. He shot down Growling Sidewinder himself in the air, and then lined up a fucking man-in-the-loop missile on his spawn position in the airbase. So he popped him in the air, and then popped him as he respawned on the ground, like as he taxied out. What? Did someone just spawn on top of me? What the fuck was that? That was weird. Okay. That should be my most recent cartridge. Should be. Okay. We'll just close and lock the canopy now, I guess. Oh, yeah, the mission's gonna restart. What I might do... I don't know if there's actually a bind to hit the detent and the throttle in the Viggen, but if there is, I'll have to bind that up later. We'll just wait for the server to restart. There's no point getting the aircraft started up if it's gonna boot us out anyway. The other thing is, on this server at the moment, the Viggen's air-to-air missiles are restricted to the 9B equivalents. So, theoretically you could air-to-air in this thing, but they're shitty missiles, there's not much point. It's basically just emotional support. So with the Viggen, the version we have in DCS, long-time viewers will know this. They would have heard this 1,000 times, but the version we have in DCS is like an early 90s upgrade. So it combines the reconnaissance mode with the ground attack mode. Previously, they were two separate aircraft. On top of that, it also opens up some more weapon loadouts. They added more processing power to the computer. More memory, I guess, would be the more correct way of saying it. Because originally the CK-37 had a ferrite core memory block about the size of a microwave, and it held, I forget how much it was like 28k of memory, if that. It was very little. And so the original Viggen's possible loadouts were limited, because you've got to remember that the CK is also trying to draw the HUD and do all of the like processing of waypoints and everything off that same tiny amount of memory. So you didn't really have a lot to play with in terms of loadouts, and also the outboard launch rails were reserved for the AIM-4 Falcon, which they ended up not using on the Viggen because it caused flutter issues for the flight controls. So for a proper Cold War Viggen, you've only got the inboard 4 pylons. You can only carry sidewinders on the innermost 2 pylons, and there's only certain combinations of weapons that the computer can accept. So when I fly this thing in Cold War servers, I try and stick to those combinations. So, for example, if I wanted to fly a loadout with rockets or high-drag bombs, or low-drag bombs for that matter, but I wanted to have some form of self-defense, I would have air-ground weapons on 3 of the pylons, and then on one side on the inboard, I would have a single sidewinder. Now, with AIM-9Bs, it's barely even worth doing that, because they suck. They suck really badly. So, yeah, if you're wondering why I'm doing weird shit with Viggen loadouts, that's why. Actually, you know what? Let's hit this target instead. So we'll go bombs, high drag. Rockets are really fun to use on this as well. You can see there, AIM-9B, so not worth it. Rockets are really fun too, but for these kinds of targets, the high drags are probably better. I might see if we can engage something with rockets a bit later, because they are very, very fun to use. Honestly, the Viggen has some cool guided weapons, but I think the unguided stuff is really underrated. The rockets in particular, there's a real, like... Anyone can use them, but to use them well, it's quite a thing that you'll have to practice up. Like, it's its own dedicated skill, if that makes sense. So I've always really enjoyed using the rockets in the Viggen. B1. We'll just make this simple. 2 waypoints will do us. M2. That's the most up-to-date cartridge. Careful, Daphne. I don't mind her sitting on my shoulder. The problem is just if she falls asleep, she has a habit of falling off of my shoulder, and I really don't want her doing that. She's quite robust, especially for a small dog, but I would not like to test how robust she is. We'll just let it close all the way. What is the altitude of the target? 1013, 1012 for that waypoint. Careful. Can you hop back down onto my lap, please? Thank you, Bubba. CK still booting up. There we go. Reflower in 9099 LSSKU. Thinking. Still thinking, and it's loaded. Tact 580. So turning turn nav off means that the nav system's going to drift quite a bit more. Turn nav is the system it uses to automatically correct the INS based off of... I don't think it's technically an INS. I used to know this stuff off the top of my head, but I've been a normie for too long. But anyway, it auto-corrects the nav system based off Doppler radar and a database of elevation of the ground that you're flying over. Like you would have different turn nav cartridges for each different terrain. That system didn't exist back when this was, you know, early in its service in the Cold War, so I turn that off when I'm flying Cold War servers. Materially, it doesn't make a lot of difference unless I'm flying a very far distance or I'm doing a lot of sorties without ever recalibrating the nav system, but I do it just because it's, you know, that's how the aircraft would be back in the day. Forgot how to speak for a second there. Okay. The seat's not armed yet. We'll arm it as we taxi out. Because you do not want the seat going off accidentally when you're under the shelter. And we need to turn this way. Hey Turmoil, good to see you. Do you want down on the floor, Bubba? Yeah? You want to hop down? Okay, good girl. Down you go. When will you admit that ProGamer was right about the F4? Remind me what ProGamer was allegedly right about. If it was that it's going to mog MiGs, I have yet to see evidence of this. In fact, I've mogged more F4s than have mogged me. What the F4 does excel at is carrying a shitload of bombs at a very high rate of knots close to the ground and delivering them with not quite Viggen level precision, but pretty close. Genuinely, like, every encounter I've had with an F4, where I haven't been third-partied, and even then I haven't been third-partied very much by them, it's either been fairly neutral, or I've just clapped it without really trying. Part of that is because the average F4 player is not very good at what they do, but a lot of it's just the F4 is not able to use the Sparrows very well at low altitude. So as long as you can drag it down into the weeds, you can just wear its energy down. Like, it's really not all that. I've come up against a few that were difficult fights because they actually knew how to handle it. And they could throw it around pretty well without bleeding too much energy, but as a general rule, I don't think the F4 is that big of a threat air-to-air. I wouldn't rate it a higher threat than the F1, and I still don't think the F1 is a huge threat, even though it obviously has gained some new moves since last time I really flew it. I still think, quote me on this until the end of time, because I'm right, I still think the top dog sort of apex predators of servers like this, or like, you know, back when it was still ECW and it was a little bit different how it played, or Alpins, any servers like that, it's not the MiG-29, it's not the F4, it's not the Mirage F1, it is the MiG-21 and the F5. Because they are just so dogshit simple to fly, they have passable sensors, even though the MiGs is overperforming. Even if you fixed it, they've got passable sensors, passable situational awareness. They don't give you the kind of sensory overload and task saturation that the more advanced jets do. Every time I'm flying the F1 or the F4 or the MiG-29 even, and I'm more familiar with the MiG-29 systems than the others, and this is even with true with the FC3 MiG-29, let alone the full fidelity one. I was so task saturated trying to manage the sensors that I would routinely fly into shit that I had no idea was there, or like I would fly into a merge without being ready for it, and I'd just get fucked on because I was not mentally prepared for it. The MiG-21 and the F5, you are... I have fur in my mouth, yuck. You are, by default, mentally prepared for it. This is the downside of having a small, fluffy dog that sheds. Ugh. Okay. Nav mode is engaged. Everything is in the correct position. Let's go. Yeah, I'm curious to see how the actual, like, official F-104 handles. Because the mod F-104, I mean, if you used it well and did the whole double attack thing, it would actually be pretty decent, but as an actual dogfighter, I don't put much stock in it. Could just be because I don't have enough hours in it yet to handle it well. Oh, there's a lot of fighters up here in the north now. All of those small contacts are all going to be fighters, probably 21s. Not ideal. We might shift south after this run, maybe. Possibly go after some maritime targets. I think there's oil rigs out there which we can hit with the rockets, or RBO5s. I haven't used one of those in forever. And maybe some anti-ship missiles, those are pretty fun as well. I will also need to get myself something to eat at some point, because I kind of forgot to eat lunch, and it's now like mid-afternoon. Oh, I really don't like how many fighters there are in this area. I should note as well, remember also, I'm pretty sure this was another thing ProGamer predicted, was that the Mirage F1 would mog the MiGs. That didn't happen either. Especially back when it was first released. It's better now because the flight model's been juiced up a bit, but back when it came out, fuck me, I would not be caught dead in an F1 against a MiG-21. Actually, just yesterday, I had a pretty nice little dogfight with an F1 while I was flying the F5. Managed to gun it. He outran both my AIM-9s, but he couldn't outrun the gun. Speed at 82 knots. Small? Huh? Is he stalling out or something? I don't think there's any propeller planes in this server at the moment. Hey CJ, good to see you, man. 19 miles. We're gonna have to get the fuck out in a hurry. So we'll have a moderate right-hand turn to make after this waypoint. And then that should line us up straight down the road that the target's on. We're going alright, man. How are you? Be careful of ground fire as well. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and dump the tank. $14 miles. Jesus, they're very close. I think the radar might even be picking them up. I know you can use this radar to pick up aircraft with certain settings if you're lucky, but it is picking up something that looks like aircraft tracks, which is kind of funny. Okay, right-hand turn. Just a moment. Now. To weave between the buildings a little. There's probably also going to be SAMs around. Just see the tower up in the distance. Hoping whatever is tracking us at the moment can't get a shot at us. That tower is our target. Well, the stuff around it is our target, but the tower as well. Boom. God, I love this thing. We'll just fly back in first stage burner. Oh shit, we got stuff all over us, we might not make it. Come on, baby, run. We are at least clean now. And when she's clean, the Viggen is still very fast. We don't want to get too fast. $1350 is our limit, from memory. It's a far cry from the 1780 something that the Viggen used to do on the deck, but I'm glad that they did actually finally get around to fixing it. It's a couple of years ago now they fixed it, but it took a while, but it's such a good aircraft now. And I can fly it guilt-free. Fuel's still looking good. Easily got enough to make it home. We could base out of Krimsk. I think we still hold Krimsk. But I can't be asked resetting the nav computer, so we'll just go back to Anapa. Anapa's safer anyway. We don't want to get bombed while we're rearming on the ground. We'll come back to stage 1 burner, because I think we've opened up enough distance between ourselves and everything that was chasing us. Oh, maybe not. Don't see any launches at least. Okay, now we'll come back to first stage. The next challenge becomes, do I remember how to land this thing without breaking it? Okay, we're nearly home. 20 kilometers until we hit an upper. We'll just use the direct approach mode rather than circle round. No, we'll use direct approach. I'm not flying that far out of my way. Okay, there is an upper. We actually want to come in from this end, so we'll come out this way to ditch some speed. We'll kick out the air brakes. Prime the reverse thrust. We don't really need it on this runway, but we'll do it. We're way high. Get the air brakes back out. Settle, daff daff. Okay, runway's clear. Get the reverse thrust going and some wheel brakes. Done. Hey Duke, good to see you, man. So not going to admit the F4 gets better missiles, more missiles, better situation awareness, higher speed, better rate. Okay, so Better missiles only count if you can use them. Good luck using your Sparrows at low altitude. Your AIM-9s, yeah, the late model AIM-9s I'd say are better than most of the Soviet ones. More missiles if you like being draggy, sure. Better situational awareness. Debatable. If you've got a human in the backseat, maybe. Like, the thing is, if you've got a good Wizzo in the backseat, yeah, like, even at fairly low altitude, you've got good situational awareness. If you are having to deal with Jester, forget it. Like, first of all, can the radar actually see anything? If you're at low altitude, the answer is usually no. Second of all, even if it can see something, do you have the ability to actually focus on what you're doing? Like, the thing is, again, with the F1, it's the same problem. You're juggling so many tasks at once, trying to fly the aircraft, that it's actually taking away mental capacity you're going to be using in the 21 or the F5 to just look outside. I have found, with all of the more modern aircraft, including the MiG-29, which is just far and away superior to any of the, like, the F1 or the F4, I've found I get so bogged down fucking with the sensors, trying to figure out where shit is, and focusing on the aircraft's, like, you know, don't pull this many Gs, don't do this, don't do that, that I'm worse off. Like, I fly into merges without realizing I've done it because I'm so bogged down with tasks. Higher speed, at low altitude, yeah, it'll just walk away from you, so I'll give you that. At higher altitude, it's a little faster. It's got a higher top end speed. The acceleration's probably not that much different. It'll be slower with more missiles. No offense, but that's a skill issue. It's a skill issue that seems to apply to almost everyone I encounter that's flying an F4, because they all have bad situational awareness. Better climb, more consistent, I would say, climb. Not necessarily better at low altitude. The 21's probably similar. Higher altitude, it's not, because you lose the extra thrust out of the emergency burner. Stupid damage model, I mean, yeah, just launch a second missile at it. I don't know. Like I said, I've had no issues killing F4s. I've come across one or two that could pin me down in a rate fight pretty well, and they were really difficult to actually get shots on. But, like, I will modify my opinion if I come up against a genuinely capable F4 and find that even on a good day for me, they can't, or like, rather, I can't beat them, but I've yet to come up against that. And this is also me coming off the back of, like, 2 years of not flying at all. So I'm certainly not where I used to be. The other thing is, right, and this has been my position for a while as well with things like the F1, and even with, like, the MiG and the Viggen and things, is if the majority of people don't know how to use it effectively, then it's not that much of a threat. Like, the main threat of the F4 on an actual normal server, instead of a theoretical environment where everyone's really experienced with their specific aircraft, the biggest threat of the F4 is that it's actually a really good bomb truck, and it is able to get away from you at low altitude. Like, that's the threat of the F4. Likewise, the threat of the F1 is it has... the torpedo can be kind of dangerous because of the way the radar is modeled, but the F1's a relatively good bomb truck for being as small as it is, and it's quite fast at low altitude. Maybe. What are your opinions on Chaparrals? But yeah, the main threat on a typical server isn't going to be, oh my god, the Phantoms are swarming me, I'm going to get shot down by them. Like, the biggest difficulty I've ever had with the F4 since it released is just if I get dogpiled by 2 or 3 of them, and anything's a threat in that environment. Okay, I need to pull the data cartridge, because I'm going to set up a new mission since we obliterated that target completely. There's our B1. There's our B2. I think that target's actually gone. I think it remembers that that target's gone. We'll hit this, I think. We're just going to set a target waypoint there. We don't need anything else. That should line us more or less straight up with... No, we won't. We'll change that. Because I do want to line up with the road. B1... M2... There we go. Wait, did I actually... I didn't rearm, did I? That would have been embarrassing. Yep, we'll stick with the same loadout.
Request refueling. Request rearming.
Where's the parking brake on this? It's this thing, isn't it? Yep. Giraffe neck? I know, right? We also need to double check our target altitude. 1013. That's important for two reasons. First of all, it uses that to compute the slant range to release the bombs at. So you fuck that up, your bombs miss. You know, like, a little bit of a margin of error isn't the worst because you're making such low altitude passes. The main problem with that is if you don't set it correctly and your target altitude happens to be higher than your actual altitude, when you go to release your bombs, they will not come off. So you need to make sure that's at least close, if not the actual target altitude, even though you're releasing so low to the ground. They did accidentally leave the F2 camera on this server the other day, but they fixed it. This should be the one with training numbers. Can I control F11 on here? No, I can't. Okay. I like the training numbers on the Viggen. Generally, you wouldn't want to carry Dayglow numbers into war on your wings. It makes you kind of easy to see, but I do like the vibe it has. So I always fly with the training numbers. Okay, we have a belly tank on. That should center the roll trim. The pitch trim will leave about there, I reckon. Okay, I hope I haven't just buggered the nav system by doing that.
Rearming complete.
Release the brakes. Get taxiing. I need to relearn it because it's been so long since I've flown it, but I was never super confident with it, if that makes sense. I was just getting to the point where I was starting to learn the... What is it? The RBS 15s, I think? The modern anti-ship missiles. I was just starting to learn how to use those. And I used to be able to use BK-90s as well, but that was like the limits of my knowledge in the Viggen. I need to learn, well, the backseat of the Tomcat I still haven't got around to, but what I really want to pick up is the backseat of the F4. Because I figure the cracked pattern recognition that made me so good at using the F5 radar might be useful in the F4. And then when we get killed, I can blame someone else's bad flying instead of my own. I have attempted to fly the F4 in here, and I suck shit at it. Like, I'm just not used to an aircraft that's that heavy. And like I said, I'm juggling the sensors so badly. I really do feel like the MiG-21, partly because the radar's, you know, overperforming, but even if they fixed it, and particularly the F5, that's radar has been fixed, and you can still use it as quasi look-down, shoot-down if you're careful enough. It's not as reliable as it used to be, but it still happens. I accidentally locked up a Hind earlier. Didn't even realize that was what I had. Like, I thought it was a jet. It was a Hind. And the crucial thing is, right, the F4 is not bad. The F4's radar, like the actual, the symbology of the F4's radar is quite good because it does lead you onto the target if you just follow the symbology. What I found with the F1 is its symbology is really good for getting you into an intercept position on a non-maneuvering target. So against bombers and stuff, it's great. Against a fighter, the F1's intercept queue and stuff like that is dog shit. The way its radar represents, like, it's still essentially a B-scope when you've got a target locked, and you've got that little intercept steering queue. That is not useful against a maneuvering MiG. It's actually counterproductive against a maneuvering fighter. Whereas the 21 and the F5, they give you literally, like, here is the direction to steer the aircraft to find your target in elevation and azimuth. So you literally just put the thing on the thing and the target is directly in front of you in the middle of the gun sight. That is what makes the F5, in particular, I think, even perhaps more than the 21, so well suited to just flying into a furball, because all you have to do is sort a target, lock it, and just follow the radar in, and the target will be in your gun sight. Okay, nav mode selected. Hopefully I haven't broken anything this time. Looks all right. Yeah, pretty easily. It actually gives you a cue on the HUD as well for when to rotate. Like your most optimal takeoff to clear terrain or whatever, because this thing, remember, is designed to operate from road bases. Having said that, it is a delta wing. Not only is it a delta wing, it's a delta wing with canards, so it has, like, boatloads of induced drag. So as you rotate, it's kind of like the Mirage 2000. It will hang in the air until it builds enough speed up to generate lift and get away from the ground. So you do want to be mindful of that. You don't want to rotate too aggressively. I miss the Chappie, man. Bring back the Chappie. It was my favorite thing about it was just it was so chaotic. Like, the Chappie didn't care who it killed, it just cared that it killed. So you would fly over Blue's air defense, and half my kills in Alpenserver when he was running missions with Chappies in were because I flew over their airfield, trolled the Chappies, and the Chappies shot whatever was trying to shoot me. Kind of wish that on this server they'd give this thing better aim-9s, at least in this weapon set. This is like the late weapon set, so the, you know, there's MiG-29s, there's F-14s. The Phantom gets aim-7 E2s, like the Sparrows that can maneuver off the rail. The 21's got its full complement of weapons, so I really wish they'd give the Viggen its better sidewinders as well. Even if it's just on the inner two pylons, which are the only ones that should be able to carry sidewinders for a Cold War Viggen anyway. Just because, like, this thing is actually such a joy to fly. I used to really enjoy, even once I realized how badly it was overperforming back in the day and started compensating for it, I used to really enjoy just taking up a pair of sidewinders and flying it air-to-air. Dude, don't dunk on the Sparrow. The Sparrow is a good missile. Like, not even joking. It's always been good in DCS, it's just most people didn't quite know how to use it. They would often drop support. Like, a lot of people genuinely didn't understand the concept of a semi-active radar homing missile. They'd fire it and turn and then wonder why they're not hitting anything. Like, back on Blue Flag Cold War, when I used to play on there with Lazy Seal, we watched this one same guy in an F-15 day after day run in on people, just salvo off all his aim-7s and then immediately turn cold. You may as well fire unguided rockets, dude. That's basically what they are. But the other thing is, even people that knew they had to support the Sparrow, they would give up on it too easily. The Sparrow has a quite interesting flight pattern, I guess. Like, its flight dynamics are interesting. It uses a total loss hydraulic system to maneuver, so when the fins turn, it's dumping the pressure out of the system. Concerning. And so... And Daphne's got nuts at something. So, Daphne! Settle. Must be a vacuum cleaner or something out in the hall. Yeah, so, like... The Sparrow will try and conserve its turns, so it's not dumping all its hydraulic pressure at the start and then not being able to turn. And so you'll see it make a very sedate tracking maneuver, and then it'll make a really aggressive turn in on the target at the last second. People would see the Sparrow flying in apparently the wrong direction and go, oh, it's gone dumb, I'm gonna, you know, dump the target and switch to sidewinders. It would have tracked perfectly fine if they just had faith in it. There's our target. So the Sparrow has always been good, it's just that people gave up on it too easily. Something in front of me, some sort of fighter off the nose. The tower's still standing, we didn't get the whole thing. We might have to do a second run on it. But yeah, like, I've seen... There's actually a clip, I think, I got off of, one of Trip's streams. Oh, look, an A10. Where he shot a Sparrow at someone, and he's like, oh, it's gone stupid. And then he didn't dump the lock, he just held it, and all of a sudden the Sparrow had gone off screen at this point. It comes swinging back in out of fucking left field and just claps this guy. And Trip was beside himself because he did not think it could possibly make that kind of turn, and he didn't even think it was tracking. Oh, it was tracking alright. Like, that's what the Sparrow does. So when you use them, you've got to have a little faith and just give it time. It probably will hit. Unless you actually lose lock on the target, it probably is going to hit. Where's my gremlin yelling at? What's up, Daff Daff? Why are we barking so much, baby girl? Are you on watch? Are you on security duty? There is an open house in the apartment next door, so I wonder if that's why she's barking. Hopefully it doesn't put anyone off. Thinking that there's a fucking... Whoopsie, that was not what I meant to hit. Thinking there's some sort of feral creature in the apartment next door to them. The people that used to live there absolutely loved Daphne. They'd give her cuddles anytime they came out into the hall with her. Huh? Curious? Concerning? Hofunk. Anyone here speak Swedish? I'm guessing funk is something to do with, like, radio or signals or radar or something. It's not the radar. Oh, never mind. It might be because I aggressively manhandled the controls without taking the autopilot off. We're good. It was just the autopilot screaming at me. Also need IR missile snaking. War Thunder has it? Yeah, we do. Someone's doing reconnaissance. That's good to see. Daphne! Settle, kiddo. Calm your farm, baby girl. Just pump the brakes. Because we are coming in pretty quick. So yeah, we'll kick out this way. Pull a couple of fairly hard turns to dump airspeed. Get the reverse thrust primed. Gear out. Okay, there we go. Three greens. We're actually a bit closer to the speed we want this time. We're not in the correct landing mode, though. We're a little slow, even. Yeah, we're a little slow, a little low. But we can correct for it pretty easily. Just keep some power on. Now we start reducing it. So I'm not using it. I don't really generally use it, even when I am trying to land on a road base, but there is an autopilot mode that holds the ideal angle of attack for landing. It's like 15.5 units or something AOA. But like I said, I don't really use it, I just do it by hand. Okay, you gotta force the nose down, because the reverse thrust only triggers when all three wheels are firmly on the ground. So, nose down, and as soon as that wheel contacts, you slap the throttle forwards, and then we lose control of the aircraft because I didn't get on the rudder quick enough. I will show Dog in just a moment. We did a pretty cool fucking donut there. Surprised we didn't stuff the tires or the landing gear. No, she's yapping because somebody's out in the corridor outside the apartment, I think. So that's the other thing. When you're using reverse thrust on the Viggen, you do not want to touch the toe brakes, or if you do, do it evenly on both sides. And you don't really want to touch the... We did burst a tire. You don't really want to touch the rudder pedals in general. I'm surprised we didn't flip the aircraft. Normally that would flip the aircraft and you'd be dead. If anything, I feel like tire bursts in DCS do not fuck you up enough. Like, really, they should throw the aircraft off the runway. But usually you can keep it under control without too much issue. Okay, I'm going to kill the engine. Kill the electrics. Open the lid part way. We're gonna start a rearm and then get the repair going, because they'll do things in the order they're told to do it. We're just gonna take rockets for the next one, I think.
Request refueling. Request rearming. Request repair. Copy.
I'll have to remember to fix up the mission cartridge, the data cartridge as well for the next sortie. Daphne, come here. Do you want to come here, Bubba? Yeah, you come here. Can I pick you up? Oh. Hello, gorgeous girl. Hold on. I have been asked to show dog, so I have to show dog. There is dog. That's my girl. You're gonna hop up on my shoulder? You're gonna be a little pirate puppy?
Refueling complete.
What you growling at? Is there birds? We can't abide by birds in this house, can we? She fucking hates birds. She's all in on the government drone conspiracy theory. Yeah, she's a Pomeranian. Well, she's actually a gremlin. That's what she is a gremlin. But yeah, she's a Pom. And this is her favorite place to sit. Isn't it?
Rearming complete.
I don't like the glasses, Daphne. Yeah, white Poms are pretty common. Orange, I think, is technically the most common color for Pomeranians. Her mum is orange, her sister's orange, her dad is jet black. He's a beautiful dog. He's a big, like, fluffy teddy bear. Black and tan is one of the less common ones, and the black and tan ones are always naughty. Like, it must be tied to the genes that control their color expression or something. I swear we're not doing phrenology here. We're not doing a racism, but like black and tan Poms, every single black and tan Pom I'm aware of is insane. More than regular Poms, which are already insane. Her auntie, so her dad's sister, looks like just a bigger version of Daphne, and she also has a hell of an attitude. And the two of them fight like crazy because they both are attached to me, and they're both extremely jealous and possessive. Oh, thank you for the kisses, Papa. I love you. Yeah, she's a fun little monster to have around. She probably has taken about 10 or 15 years off my natural lifespan from all the stress she causes, but it's worth it. She's so much fun to have around. She's so funny. Aren't you? You're such a strange little creature. Still got a minute left on the repair. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna put my headphones back on. I don't know what I'm gonna do when she goes. I'm just trying not to think about it. She's still only young. She's not even 2 years old yet. She's what, 22 months old now? Almost to the day. So she's still only little. Having said that, she has no sense of self-preservation whatsoever. So I do have to keep an eye on her. Okay, we are repaired, it would appear. Hold on, Bubba, I gotta move the chair again. Because the gas cylinder's fucked. Okay. Right. Oh, that target's back up. Okay, well, we're hitting that again then. Oh, and there's that one too. Ooh, oy, oy. Okay. Let's get rid of that. Let's do this one with rockets. So we did the last one with Hydrags. We're going to do this with rockets. Which means I don't necessarily need to come in at as strict of an angle, if that makes sense. I need to switch this back to nav mode, switch this back to LS. Oh, well, the CK is not even on actually, so it doesn't matter. We'll do... You know what? We'll put a waypoint straight on it. Fuck it. M1. There we go. And we'll just fucking rocket spam the bitch. Means we're gonna have to do a pop-up, but we should be okay. I just need to make sure I remember how to do this with the rockets. I used to have it down to a fine art, but it has been a number of years since last time. Get rid of that data cartridge. Whoop, gotta... That's the correct one. Load it back in. Reflower in 9099, which is the code that tells it, hey, there's a data cartridge in there, load it up, please. Blinking 9 means it's loading. And then it zeroes out to tell you it's loaded. Tact should, or sorry, not tact, turnav, can't speak today. Turnav should already be off, so we shouldn't need to fuck with it again. When you have it set to output mode and you hit tact, it shows you which stations have weapons on, by the way. That's what that means. Yes, it is this tune. Okay, we are in the align mode. Just check our trim. Give it a bit more nose up. We actually didn't drop our belly tank last time either. We didn't really need to. For the rockets, need to go into attack on that from memory. And then this one shouldn't matter. So this is your interval setting. The other one's your weapon mode. Just make sure we're not going to crash into someone. There is a mode, which again is a 90s upgrade thing. When you hit one of these switches, I forget which one, I think it's this one, with the rockets loaded, it's a standoff mode, which is actually really cool and really effective, but it's a post-Cold War thing, so once I figured out that wasn't actually a thing back in the 70s and early 80s, I stopped using it on the Cold War servers. But if you're doing a Viggen in a more modern scenario, or you just aren't as autistic as me and don't care, that's really fun to use, and it's actually really, really useful, because you can launch missiles basically from outside of AAA range. Or not missiles, rather, rockets, like unguided rockets. You pop up, blast it at long range, and head home. By the way, I forget the name of the knee board, but this knee board is specific to the Viggen. It's a custom thing. It's got all your checklists. It's got all of your different attacks and approaches and weapon modes and everything. This is fantastic, this resource. It's like called the Viggen Warfare or War something kneeboard. You can get it on user files. Okay, I'm gonna need to move my top half around to check what's around me, so I need you to hop back in my lap, thank you. I don't want you falling off, Bubba. That's a good girl. Hey, Bubba. I love you. She's actually surprisingly well behaved during streams. I think she understands that she probably doesn't understand exactly what I'm doing, but she understands I'm busy and I'm talking to someone. Because she doesn't really, like, obviously she was barking at the door earlier, but she doesn't, like, bark at me and demand that I pick her up or go play with her on the floor or whatever like she normally does when I'm sitting at my desk. Oh, I think we just lost our connection. It had to happen sooner or later. Man, we've gone 2 hours on the stream without the connection dropping at all. And, like, most of the day without it dropping. Plus last night. I'm impressed. See, this wouldn't be so bad. If it was only dropping, like, once every half a day or whatever, I wouldn't care. But it was at the point where, before it was dropping constantly, it was making DCS unplayable. That's, by the way, why I haven't really played DCS in a couple of years, for anyone wondering. The CCIP solution works for anything that's at the same altitude, because it's just slant ranging it. It's taking a while to kick us out. I wonder if the game crashed. It's taking a while to kick us out of the server. Normally it only does this if the game crashes. I do wonder. I'll give it a minute, and if it doesn't boot me back out to the... Oh, I wonder if maybe it's some integrity check, because that'll... I've got the MiG-25 mod installed, and that'll trigger an integrity check fail if somebody spawns in reconnaissance MiG-25 flight, if that's still a thing on this server. So it could be that, maybe. I think so, yeah. I haven't tried it, but I'm pretty sure you could. I mean, well, mind you, it's only giving the solution until the point you release the weapons, right? I'm gonna have to restart the game, I think. That's annoying. Hey, we got a couple of full sorties in. I'm pretty happy with that. For the past year and a half or so, I have not been able to get a single full sortie in, except very occasionally. It's been so frustrating. So we'll see how this goes. Hopefully it was just a one-off today. You are so beautiful. Yes, you are. You're a gorgeous little thing, aren't you? Hmm? Boop. Boop. Are you a good girl? Are you a good girl? A good girl who deserves a good girl treat? There you go. Good girl. I love you. Fairly certain Rammstein leaders in Aussie. The whole band are, aren't they? I'm pretty sure the band was formed in East Berlin. least my waypoints and loadout and stuff should be saved. That's a really cool quality of life addition that DCS got fairly recently, I think. Like within the last, I don't know, 2 years is fairly recently by my standards at this point, but I think it might have came with the dynamic spawns, but it actually retains from your previous session, as long as it's within the same login period, I guess, what your loadout was for a given aircraft. Like even your board number, livery, everything, and it also obviously like it would have done this before for your waypoints, but they stay on the map too. So I can just load straight in and should be good to go. Hey bub, do you want to hop down? You trying to tell me you want to hop down? Oh, she just hopped anyway. She has bad knees on her back legs, so like I don't really like her jumping off of chairs and things, but she does it anyway. She just doesn't care. Hey? You're built different, aren't you? You watch like every should you get a Pomeranian or like things to know before getting a Pomeranian video, and they're all like, oh, they're very fragile dogs, you got to be super careful, even just jumping off a couch could break their legs. And it's like she swan dives off the arm of the couch multiple times a day and she doesn't care, and I've tried to stop her and she won't stop, so I've just given up. Like, yeah, they're somewhat fragile dogs, but they're not that fragile. Oh god. She hasn't noticed yet, but there's a bird on the balcony. She's too busy barking at the door instead. Okay, it didn't remember it this time. We had to restart the game. So I guess it's only between reconnects, not restarts. Girly Pop, do you mind? Daff, settle, bub. Okay. Get things started up. I did set the throttle right. I think I did. Throttle set. Appropriate song for this aircraft. See, this is the kind of computer I like. This is the ideal like level of computer in an aircraft for me. Forget the glass screens, forget the fucking modern shit. This is what I like. Esoteric codes being punched into a thing full of tubes. So target altitude, again, we need it for the slant range. It's not as critical with the rockets, but it is still kind of useful to have. 1012. Should say target QFA, not target altitude, but you know what I mean. Nav mode selected. Let's send it. See that growing bar? That's the timer telling you when to rotate. That's also your range marker when you're going to deploy weapons. Okay, it's now telling me to rotate. Up we go. Gear up. Radar on. Pop the HUD up. Oh, come on, man. DCS crashed. We'll clear the Viggen's data cartridge cache again. I don't think it's that, though. It's probably something else. It might be a mod I have conflicting with something that's triggering in the mission, I'm not sure. But we'll clear out the Viggen cache and we'll try again. And if it keeps crashing on us, we might do something a bit different. What am I looking for? Save games, DCS. Hey Vladislav, good to see you. Yeah, good timing, the game just crashed, but hopefully we'll be back in pretty quickly. I am slowly relearning the Viggen. I haven't really flown it for a couple of years. Had some success so far, a couple of nice pre-planned strikes with high drag bombs. I was just trying to do one with rockets. What you doing, Bubba? Daphne, what you doing? It's a girl. You want belly rubs? It's my girl. I understand a very little bit, but I don't really speak it. You want up? She wants me to play with her. Daphne, come up. There we go. Yeah, it's a custom background. I was hoping that by now the MiG-23 would be in DCS, but unfortunately no. But at least I've got the custom background for it. I replaced the loading screens as well, so you'll see in just a minute. Have to wait for the server. There we go. Might only be delayed, hopefully. Hopefully it is only a delay and we do get it eventually, because I really, really want to fly the 23. And I'd love to fly one of these too. I'd love for a Su-15 to be in something. Yes, I do. Mostly when I play DCS, I fly the MiG-21. I also fly all of the Soviet stuff, but mostly the 21. Do a bit of helicopters. I haven't flown the helicopters for a while. Oh, did the server... I saw that OS nixed his original account. I'm guessing that the server got compromised or something. Shoot me an invite later, I'll have to rejoin. Ah, okay. That would explain it. See, normally, especially because there's so many people on blue, normally I would fly red. I'd jump, like, look at all these F4s, big juicy targets. I would jump in my MiG-21. But I want to fly the Viggen so I can learn to fly it again. The MiG-21 it's like riding a bike. Even if I haven't flown the MiG-21 for like a year, as soon as I'm sitting in it again in DCS, I remember everything. It all comes back to me. But the Viggen's a little more complicated, so we're focusing on that today. Hopefully this time the game doesn't crash. Oh, it's okay. Your English is better than my Russian. One of these days I will actually learn to speak it properly, but I haven't got around to it yet. What was the QFE? It was 1012, I think. So we'll set that. To come over here. Samolyot, yeah, I know that one. Like, some words I know, but I can't, like, make a sentence. Most of the things I know are, like, technical words. Up, down. Good girl. Yeah. Yeah, that's literally it. It's like my German as well. Most German I understand, which is still not a lot, but like what I do understand of German is mostly like technical terms. Directions and technical terms. And numbers. Yep, Истребитель, Interceptor, Перехватчик. See, I know a bit. Спасибо. Okay. Hopefully this time we can get to the target. Everything should be set correctly. So when you use the rockets in the Viggen, you can do it from nav mode, or you go to ANF, which is like the master attack mode. Either one works. If you do it from nav mode, the rockets will, like the aiming marker and stuff will come up as you flick the safety off. The rockets will disable use of the radar, because they're using the radar to calculate the slant range as well as the actual slant range unit. So you'll notice when I go to fire the rockets, the radar display blacks out. At about 70 kilometers to target. I think I'm going to get intercepted on the way out. There's a fighter headed straight towards me. Basically off my nose right now. I don't see it yet, but I know it's there. So we're gonna... Oh, I see it now. You guys might not. It's right there, traveling right to left across the tree line. It's not moving very quickly, though. Oh, maybe that's not it. Maybe that's a helicopter. It's not moving very fast. Okay, we're getting within 60 kilometers of our target, about 50 kilometers now. You can see the circled marker. So we can actually see the tower where the target is on the radar already. When you're this low to the ground, you can't really make out the details on the radar very easily, because obviously the trees, towers, things like that cast a radar shadow. From a higher altitude looking down, you can get basically a really good detailed map of the area, almost. Okay, we got something on us. We might be in trouble here. There's the other target we hit. Get rid of the belly tank, since we need to get rid of some drag. That tower looks like it's been hit as well. We'll fire the rockets at it anyway, just in case some of the ground targets are still up, but we might actually not have targets to shoot at there. Whoop. Just zoom out a bit. It's still showing the target markers, but it might just be because no one's deleted them yet. Looks like there might still be some targets up. Boom. Okay, let's get out of here. I'm not as interested in the modern ones. I like Cold War. So, I'd like a Su-27, but the thing I want most is MiG-23, right? I want MiG-23 really badly, and it's been out of service for 30 years now. And honestly, at least because they are from Russia, they understand Soviet aircraft and Russian aircraft. If a Western developer made DCS, they would get so many things wrong. I mean, I guess people say ED gets things wrong with Western planes, but I'm not as interested in Western planes, right? Oh shit, MiG-21 behind me. So I just jettisoned the rocket pods there to get rid of some drag. He must be out of missiles, which is good. It's not quite a copy. It's not quite a copy. Those blades, those need to be there. Everything has them. Mirage has them. Viggen has them. There. Those blades are there because they need to... There's a couple of reasons. First is structural and aerodynamic reasons to support the intake. And second is the Soviets used crash nets. So if you had to make a crash landing and your brakes didn't work or something, they would put a net across the runway to stop the plane. The Americans did it too, most countries did. And so having something that wouldn't rip the engine intake off, you know, being able to cut the net a bit, was good. Because they wanted to catch the net with the wings, not with the engine intakes. That one's actually a myth that the Americans came up with. Because the Americans believe everyone just copies them. Okay, we made it home safely. Need to figure out what target to attack next. And the music bot stopped. This time we'll try not to burst the tires. That's awesome. Yeah, the F1 is cool. I should fly it some more. I haven't flown the F1 for a long time. Okay. Need to pick a new target. We'll go rearm, figure out what to attack next. Probably do another rocket run, I think. I'm actually curious what guided weapons the Viggen has on this server. I don't know. I'll have to have a look. So a lot of its guided weapons would be outside of the Cold War. They'd be like 1990s, 2000s era weapons. So the BK-90 pods, those are awesome fun to use, but they're out of the time period. The RBS-15 as well. Most of its weapons fit, though. Most are Cold War weapons. Ah, we can get BK-90s. Interesting. Interesting. I'm going to have to relearn how to use those, because those are a lot of fun.
Request refueling. Request rearming. Copy.
We'll attack this one, I think. The bullpup's guidance logic is so funny. It's so, like, overcomplicated. It's ridiculous. Okay, we need to put in our new data cartridge. Just make sure it actually went in. Okay, it's in. No, it is. I forget the full details of it, but Matt, as in Polish Matt, was telling me about how its guidance actually works, and it's fucking ridiculous. So it spins at some ridiculously high spin rate, but because it's like spin stabilized, right? But it speeds up and slows down its spin, like its rotation speed, based on the actual airspeed of the missile. And its control system doesn't account for that change in speed properly. So it will do all sorts of weird shit as it slows down on the way to target, right? Like it accelerates a bit and then it'll slow down as a rocket motor burns out. And so you've got to compensate for that. There's a slight drift that's built into the controls to try and account for the spin, but again, it doesn't account for that. It's like, I'll have to look up the specific messages he sent me to explain how it works, but it is a complete mindfuck. I don't know why they designed it the way that they did. It makes no sense at all. I'm sure that there was a technical limitation kind of reason they did that back in the day, but it's just, such a bizarre weapon. Su-25, yes. Not Su-25T very much, but the old Su-25 I fly a lot. Spin stabilized satellites. I've got to look it up, man, and send you it. It's, or maybe even after this sortie, I'll just read it. But it's ridiculous. I haven't actually tried using the bullpups on the Phantom yet. That might be something I should try, maybe next week or something. But just from reading about how the actual control logic behind the missile works, it's ridiculous. Since liquid fuel engine restarts in space are unreliable, they strap the satellite to a solid fuel rocket motor. A couple tiny rockets at an angle to spin it up and yeet it into orbit. Actually, back when I first started playing Kerbal Space Program, I made an ICBM, and the re-entry vehicles were spin stabilized like that. It's pretty neat. It depends, I guess. I would say it's moderate. There are some things that are hard for them to understand, like the way the artificial horizon works differently. But it depends how much they study, right? Like most people who play DCS that are American or like Western English speakers, whatever, it's harder for them to picture how the systems work. But because I'm interested in Soviet aircraft more than Western ones, it's the opposite for me. So I have a better understanding of how the MiG-21 works than like the F-4. So it depends on their interest, I guess. Okay, same QFE. I can't even remember the last time I did a carrier landing in the Su-33. Must have been at least like 4 or 5 years ago. What? Oh, I didn't put the right cartridge in, I think. Shit. Okay, B1. we're going to get some altitude. I'm going to have to manually input the waypoint. But at least you'll get to see how to do that, I guess. I'm just going to turn this way. Hopefully whoever's flying towards me doesn't push on me while I'm doing this. Okay, ref Lola in for B1. Okay, we might need to... B1. Ref Lola in. We're just going to make this M1. 38, 55, 52. 3, 8, 5, 5, 5, 2. You got to remember it's long lat in the Viggen, not lat long. And then the second set of coordinates is 45, 0, 0, 14. 4, 5, 0, 0, 1, 4. There we go. And then to make that our mission waypoint, our target, we go tact 9 and then put that in. Sorry, no, we go, my bad. Tact 9 B1. There we go. Now it's changed to M1, which is our target waypoint. We're good to go. Yeah, the measurement system makes it hard for, especially Americans. Europeans are okay because they're used to metric, but Americans struggle with metric for some reason. Not all of them, but a lot of them do. I did some of my schooling in the UK, so where they use imperial still for most things, and then the rest of my schooling here in Australia, where we use metric for everything. So I understand both systems. Not all the really stupid measurements like chains and fathoms and leagues and stuff, but like I can mentally convert feet to meters and pounds to kilograms in my head pretty easily. There's a fighter coming for us, basically straight off the nose. This is going to be difficult. And also Daphne's chosen this exact moment to want belly rubs. Can you hold on, Bubba? Just have to try and stay low over the trees. Hopefully they won't actually visually see me. Might actually offset slightly. Oh, maybe not. I see them. There. Please don't see me. Okay, I don't think they've seen me. There were two, actually, one above the other. Yeah, yards are close enough. It's like 0.91 meters or something. Yeah, it is their fault, technically. Okay. They're chasing me. Belly tank's gone. The Viggen has really aggressive mark tuck, and I wasn't quick enough on the trim there. Caught it just in time. They're getting pretty close. Okay, I'm opening up a gap, which is good. When I'm flying the Viggen, normally I change the early warning radar units to metric since the Viggen is instrumented in metric, but I just forgot to do it today. And I'm not really doing air-to-air, I only need to know roughly how far they are from me, not exact distances and things like that. Okay, that tower is our target. I'm going to need to come out of afterburner because I can't be transonic when I launch these. Well, I mean I can be, but it won't be accurate. I'll go into first stage afterburner because I do need to keep a bit of speed. They are still pretty close behind me. I'm gonna pop up. Good hits. I've got to be careful, I'm next to Krasnodar. There's Sam's here. Oh, Cotty, they changed the PVO units and they messed it up. Because I don't think they understand how it actually works. It's very sad. Oh fuck, 0.4 miles. Ooh, ooh, please don't see me. Can't really see behind myself, unfortunately. Okay, he's fast. I'm gonna need to ditch my rocket pods so I can get a little bit more speed up. I'm getting locked. Might be a Mirage F1. In which case I'm in deep trouble because that can actually keep up with me at low altitude. Settle Daphne. Oh no, Cherubs is a thing, Cotty. Cherubs is a thing. Cherubs is hundreds of feet. Angels is thousands. Cherubs is hundreds. She does. Also, there's a bird outside, which is what she's barking at. Oh, right. I'm chasing the wrong waypoint because I forgot to set my... Because I got the wrong system. Or not the wrong system, the wrong cassette plugged in. I'm going to have to just fly this off the seat of my pants. I can't really plug in my home airfield coordinates while I'm being chased, so we'll just wing it. We're very low on fuel. But hopefully so are they. Okay. $372,106. And then 450013. I don't think that actually saved. Oh, it didn't, because I pressed the wrong fucking button, didn't I? What was it? I mean, I could just turn for the airfield now, but... 372121. No, it still hasn't updated. Okay, never mind. I'm probably changing it wrong. There is a way to set that in flight, but I was doing it wrong, I think. Yeah, I could ask for a vector, actually, couldn't I?
Manapa, request navigation assistance.
If I'm on the right frequency. Which I'm apparently not. It's alright, it's this way. We should be able to see it pretty soon, actually. It'll be over there somewhere. That might even be it. There it is. Pretty sure that's it. See, now I've got some altitude. The radar's quite good for mapping. Yep, there's the runway. Do you want to hop down? Okay, down you go. That's a good girl. Oh shit. Someone followed me all the way home. Apparently. I don't see them. There they are. It's a 21. I don't think he sees me either. Well, he's gonna die very soon, I'd say. Because I'm pretty sure we got SAMs of some sort here. I lost sight of him. Oh, over there. No, and a Phantom just buzzed me. If only the Phantom was paying attention, he could have just bagged an easy kill. Nah, he followed me home. He was desperate to get a kill on my, my Viggen. It looks like he's coming back for more. He wants to get me while I'm landing. I just had a very evil idea. I don't know if it'll work with how the server's set up, and I don't know if I'll be able to get through SAMs to do it, but I just had a very evil idea. Oh, speaking of SAMs, there they go. Looks like the Phantom got him. Maybe the BK90s? I just don't remember how to program them. I could look up the chart, I suppose. The BK90s are out of time period, but if they're in the server and other people are using them, I guess we could use them. I guess we can only carry 2 pods. No, you know what? We'll do it old school. We'll do it with the low drag bombs, because I think we'll do a toss bomb. I suppose we could do high drag. I was trying to think what's likely to be more successful. I haven't toss bombed with this for a very long time, so we'll do high drags. We'll come in low and fast with the high drags, and hopefully we'll get through. This is going to be super risky.
Request refueling.
Because what I am planning on doing is deeply fucking evil. Let's fuel. Where's the ammo? Does it have a separate ammo store, or am I going to have to go for Pashkovsky? So this is a fuel dump. This thing is a fuel dump. This thing is an ammunition dump. This is the funny one. We're going to do something really fucking stupid. Good to see you, CJ. Thanks for hanging out, man. Have a good one. B1. M2. I will probably get killed on the way in, but if this works, it is going to be very funny. It's also quite a long flight, so I've got to mind my fuel. Okay. M2 1009. Pretty good chance I'll get intercepted, and if I don't get intercepted, I'll probably get hit by a SAM. But if this works, it will be very funny. We're still refueling. Now, I don't know if the server's set up for this to actually affect their supply of weapons. If you did this somewhere like Alpin's server or DDCS, this would actually fuck their weapons supply up, because it affects the warehousing system in the game. But even if it doesn't affect their weapon warehouses, it will look really cool. As long as these bombs have enough destructive power to actually detonate the ammo dump, which they should, I hope. If there were no SAMs, I'd be tempted to use an RB05 instead. Or maybe rockets. But we're going to have to come in fast and low.
Refueling complete. Rearming complete.
What I might do this time is I might come in at medium to high altitude, and then just, if I get intercepted, I'll dive for the deck. Just to save on fuel a bit, because I would like to make it home after this. I don't know where the gremlin is. She might be over by the door. She likes to hide where I put my shoes, and she's really hard to see when she does it. Server's emptied out a bit. Looks like I might get intercepted here, actually. I'll wait until the last moment to dip low, but I really want to conserve fuel as much as I can. Okay, we got two coming after us now. Oh, there you are. Hello. You want up? No, we'll play in a bit, okay? We play a bit later. you want to come up with me? She's trying to get me to go play with her on the floor. We'll play in a little bit, okay, Bubba? Do you want to come up for a bit? Can I bribe you with a treat? Yeah, what's this? Yum, yum. Whoa, hello. Hello, gorgeous girl. I love you. Ooh. No contacts detected. Hopefully that means that there aren't actually any. But it could just be that they're notching our radar. Our AWACS or early warning radar, whatever we've got. Probably an AWACS. So that reservoir there up ahead of us, can we actually see it yet? I think that's the edge of it there. That's our sort of, we're in the, you know, in dangerous territory now, Mark. Oh, careful, Bubba. Jesus, Daphne. Oh, okay, not that one. It's the one just past it. So, right up there. That water there. I don't like that something is tracking us. Might be a friendly, not sure. Our AWACS isn't seeing anything, but they do have some SAMs, so it could be that. So that's the river there. And then this is the reservoir, or it is a reservoir, I think, not a lake. Right there, so Krasnodar is like over here somewhere. We'll level off here. And throttle back a bit as well. You wanna hop down? Okay, there's Krasnodar. There's the training airfield there. Pashkovsky is over there under the clouds. And I think after this sortie, I'll probably end the stream because I haven't eaten lunch yet and it's like nearly dinner. Well, it is dinner time. And also my shoulders are getting a bit sore. So I think we'll make it a relatively short stream today. It's only been like 3 hours. And I'll try and get some more streams in over the next week or two. Including possibly some stuff in the Phantom. Whoop. We got a bit too slow there. I got lazy with the autopilot. That's alright, I'll just hand fly it from here, I think. We'll go back up to mill power. I think we already got rid of the belly tank, right? Punch it again just in case. Daphne, can I get you to hop down, please? Ooh. Good girl. Good girl, Daff Daff. Yes, my bubba. Go first stage afterburner, just to get some speed back, because we are very slow right now. Once I hit that steer point, I want to hang about a 90-ish degree left turn. We've got something under us, quite close, so I might need to dive for the deck and accelerate here. We'll see how we go. You can see the course of the river there. And then you can just see our steer point coming up to the edge of the screen. You can see that dark spot there is the actual city of Krasnodar. Okay, it's after me. Huge artificial reservoir, river coming in from the side from the mountains, brought in so much sediment over the years it cut in half, yeah. Because I think in IL-2 it's not there, right? It was one of the post-war reservoirs they built. Most of these ones are, I think. Oh, he's really close. He's really low as well, but he's really close. So we're just gonna dive and get the fuck away. I think almost all of these are reservoirs, like artificial reservoirs. There's not really very many natural lakes here. At least not this far inland. Okay, I think he's probably trying to intercept me, but he fucked it up. We are also going to be very close to some sands, probably, so I do need to get low. "30 kilometers out from our steer point. We're just going to stay in stage 1 burner for now. If this guy closes the distance too quickly, we'll go stage 3. We just have to make sure we're subsonic when we drop the bombs. Kilometers. Okay. 4 kilometers to the steer point. And then a lot of things are going to happen very quickly. We need to make a sharp left-hand turn. Line up on the target, unsafe the bombs. We got 10 kilometers to the target from here, roughly. We're going to keep an eye out for SAM launches. And AAA. Oh, that is not a good noise. Shit! Oh, man. I hoped we'd get away with that. I'd really hoped we would get away with that. So, the thing I was attempting to kill... is that. That is their ammo dump. That's their ammo dump. I will set up a single player mission real quick to show you what happens when you hit one of those. But that was what we were attempting to kill. I thought there might be SAMs. I thought that we'd have enough time to get over the trees and hit it, but no. I'll just do an air spawn. Now, I'm not sure if the Viggen's bombs will actually have enough punch to blow the ammo dumps up. We'll try it, we'll see. If that doesn't work, I'll grab a MiG-21 with S-24s or something, because I know those can do it. Or actually, a MiG-29 with Betabs would do it as well. We'll put it on Caucasus just because they're easier to find on Caucasus. It's a good girl. It's a good girl. We'll go up to Pashkovsky. Yeah, we'll just leave it. AJS 37, player. High drags. Oh, which one is it? I thought there was a default one that had the training numbers that were dynamic, but I guess not. It might be this one. No. Okay, never mind then. I thought that there was one that was dynamic. I know people who were planning to add dynamic training numbers, but I don't know if they ever did. Okay, waypoint, altitude, 2,000 meters? No, that's... We're in a Viggen, 50 meters. Speed, 900. And then we'll add a waypoint. Okay. We'll see if this works. Hopefully the aircraft's already configured with all the stuff in the correct modes. Oh, that did it. Yep, that did it. Cook-off time. So that was what I was trying to do. That is Pashkovsky's ammo dump. Without that, nobody can rearm at the airfield. And each of those crates or boxes or bunkers or whatever corresponds to a particular weapon. So, those of you who are familiar with Outrageous Pom, good friend of the channel, long-time friend of the channel, Pom knew which target at which munitions dump was which weapon. And so on DDCS, back when he used to play on there mostly, he could deny the enemy team their AMRAMs or their R27s or whatever just by hitting ammo dumps with JSOWs and things like that, because, you know, he normally flies the Hornet. That will be cooking off for probably the next several, maybe like next hour or so. Like, it takes a while for those to cook off. And you can just see the constant explosions going off. Now, the fuel dump is this thing over this side. If I can find it. I saw it on the map earlier. There's the fuel dump. So if you hit that too, same thing but with fuel instead of weapons, it denies them their fuel. God, that's a beautiful sight. I'll do a low pass over it, because why not? Very dangerous flying through explosions, but you know, we got away with it that time. But yeah, that's an ammo dump. That's what happens when you bomb an ammo dump in DCS. What I might do, we'll do one more little funny thing with bombs. Something that I once did live on stream in a multiplayer game, but which I have not done for a very long time, and I miss doing it because it was a lot of fun. We're going to take this, and we're going to move our target onto the actual airfield. We'll just use this side of it. This is going to be a bit imprecise because of how it works. It's 24 kilometers. I need to release at 7-ish. 5.5 to 7.5. As I come over the mouth of the river, I need to pitch up. Okay. We're gonna grab my MiG-21 livery, my personal one. And I'm just saying, there may be a bit of a hint as to what's about to happen under the canopy rail. Wait. We don't want that on outboard. We'll go R60M, R60M. That's what we're gonna do. Now, the explosion for this thing doesn't work properly in DCS, unfortunately. It never has. I don't know if it'll ever be fixed. Probably not, but... the mission where I did this... Oh, that is a tree right in front of my face. We'll fix that. The mission where I did this, there was a trigger set up so that when the bomb was in a particular area, it would cause, like, all the buildings and stuff around it to be destroyed. 50 meters... Those are very big trees. Holy shit. I knew the trees in DCS were scaled, like, unnaturally big, but I didn't realize it was by that much. Okay, we'll make it 100 meters. We'll make it 1,100 kilometers an hour, because that's about how fast I need... Well, actually, we'll make it 1,000, because that'll keep me about the speed I need to be. And hopefully I'll have time to... Oops. Hopefully I'll have time to arm the thing up. I don't think you actually need the tactical release from memory, but whatever. Should have come off. Did it? No, it didn't come off. It's been a while since I've done this. What have I done wrong? Let me just double check. It might actually be that. No. That's the jettison. Bear with me, chat. It's been a few years since I've done this. That... Oh, no, that shouldn't have been it. Oh. Yep. I think maybe that. I don't know. We'll see. You've got to have all the switches correct for the thing to actually come off. About a 5G pull up to... It's still under the belly. What am I doing wrong? Give me a minute, chat. I've just got to troubleshoot this. Yeah, it should... That should be on. Okay, those work. Oh! It's the... Okay, yep. That's why. It's the, belly tank jettison button, not the trigger. We'll get it this time. That should have probably been the first thing I tried. Sun's starting to interfere with my track IR. Hold on. 1 minute, chat. I gotta fix this. Okay, you up, down? Thank you. There we go. We'll get him this time, I swear. About 1200. 5G-ish. 45 degrees. She came off that time. And my chair's dropping out from under me just to make this a complete comedy of errors. And it should have landed somewhere over here, but it appears not to have. Where's the crater? It was armed, it should have gone off. And unless it... If it landed a bit long in the water, it wouldn't have done it, but... Jeez, here I am supposed to be showing you guys how good I am at fucking nuking things in DCS, and I am fucking everything up. I'm actually curious where it went though. So I'm gonna check the track file. Sun's an IR laser. Yeah, it was reflecting off the window behind me, so... Right. Let's actually see what happened. Speed up time a little. Notice when the MiG-21 is carrying the nuclear bomb, they take the landing gear doors up because they wouldn't clear the bomb. Yeah, there it goes. Is it just me, or did the bomb just literally despawn in the air? That would explain why it didn't go off. There's the bomb. The weapon view key doesn't appear to be working. Whoops. Controls. Sorry, I know I'm kind of tunnel visioning on this, but I'm really confused as to why it didn't work. Because it did work last time I did this. F6 is released weapon view. F6, it doesn't appear to be working for the nuke, which is very, very strange. And yeah, I think it literally just despawned there. Weird. We'll try one more time, and we'll see what it does. We'll actually restart the mission and take control. I'll leave it. The air-to-ground detonate switch didn't actually used to do anything, but I'll leave that set to ground burst just in case. Whoop. Take control. There we go. We'll turn off the parachute switch. Like, none of this should actually matter, but we'll try it. See how we go. The 28 is the one that I actually used for the Hussar Brigade. The 24 is so powerful that you basically won't get away from it. Whereas the 28 is quite easy to get away from. It makes it very useful tactically. I'm just gonna... Okay. I'm gonna, tell the aircraft to level itself, and what I'm gonna do is... see if I can find where the bomb is. I think it literally just... oh no, there we go. Hello? Are we gonna drop at any point here? There we go. It's behaving like a fuel tank. It never used to tumble like that when you release it. I'm very confused about what's going on with this bomb right now. Maybe one of the recent patches busted the bomb physics or something. And it didn't appear to detonate, it just fell through the map. Okay, well the nukes are fucked, I guess. That sucks. That's really annoying, because what it should have done was it should have arced over and actually detonated. I can actually show you. I'll drop the link in chat rather than screen share it because it's quicker to set up that way, but yeah, with fabs, I'll set it up with fabs. Those should hopefully work. The actual thing, although I got clobbered by SAMs on the way back out, is that. And the second time I came in for a nuke run, I actually managed to get away from it without being hit. And then I got hit half, like, on the way back to base instead, but... yeah, I'll do a fab instead. Or a pair of fabs, I guess, since you can't carry them center line. That's really disappointing. I used to have so much fun lobbing that thing. We'll have to carry it on the inboards. I'm not sure how ballistically similar the Fabs are to the nukes. They're a similar weight to the RN... Like, individually, they're a similar weight to the RN-28, I think. Actually, they may even be more heavy. Where is it? Yeah, no, they are. The Fab 500s are double the weight of an RN-28. They're closer to an RN-24. They're similar in size, though, so I guess I'll just keep these. Now, the accuracy is not going to be amazing because I'm just eyeballing this, but, you know, when the nuke is actually working, you don't need your accuracy to be amazing. I think they just fell off anyway. They don't tolerate as many Gs as the nuke pylon. And the weapon view is still not working? Where did they end up? I guess they didn't go off because they fell clear. Never mind, it's not going to work without the actual nuke. That sucks. Oh well, I'm going to quit floundering and find someone to raid because I need to get myself some food. We got some decent sorties in the Viggen at least, so that's something. It's the first time I've really flown it for a couple of years now. So the fact I was able to remember how to do anything with it is pretty good in my book. Next stream will probably be sometime next week, maybe next weekend. I have a little more free time now. It's just, you know, I've got to try and fit it around when my internet's working, when Daphne wants to behave, all that fun stuff. But let's have a look at who is online to send you guys off to. We've got a couple of people on. Might send you guys over to... Might send you over to Ultrasaurus again, who is playing something called Timberborn, apparently, which I've never heard of. So we can go on a journey of discovery together. Bear with me while I set this up. Oh, and the music stopped too. Wonderful. All right. Raid should be good to go in just a moment. we'll get that going for the next couple seconds. But anyway, thanks for hanging out with me, guys. Good to see you all again. Good to be back in the Viggen again. It's been way too long. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Enjoy Ultra, and I will see you hopefully within the next week or so. Catch you next time.